This is Dirshu Mishna Berurah as we continue learning Hilchos Nesias Ka'apayim Simin Kof Chaf Ches. A tremendous Yasher Koyach for all of those who have been sending in their feedback, their chizik. Mirz Hashem, we should all continue having this chos of learning together. We begin on Sif Yud Ches, which the Mechaber teaches us, Ein HaMakra She'Koyre Kohanim. The one that calls out Kohanim is not allowed, Rashai Likrois Kohanim. He cannot call out Kohanim ad sheyichla mipi hatzibur amen till the tzibur finishes the amen she'einin achar birchas maidim. Till the tzibur finishes the bracha of amen after the bracha of maidim. Of course, it's not the maidim; it's the bracha after maidim, right before sim shalom. Tzibur says amen, then we could call out Kohanim. And the Kohanim cannot begin their bracha until until the Kairei finishes calling out. And here we're seeing, as we've been continuously seeing, the entirety of Duchening is a beautiful synchronization, a back and forth, and nothing could start before the previous stage finishes. So we can't say Kohanim until we have the Amen. We can't have the bracha until we finish the Kohanim. And we're going to see each stage is going to be like this. As let's just speak it out before we see it inside. The Kohanim can't say Yivarecha until the Chazan finishes the Yivarecha. The Chazan can't begin the next bracha of Yisa till the Sibur finishes the Amen. Each stage has to be timed perfectly. As we just pointed out, the Kohanim cannot begin Yivarecha Kol HaTzibur till the entirety of the tzibur finishes to say the Amen. And similarly, and similarly, the Kohanim cannot say the word Yivarecha Hashem Yishmerecha until the Makri, the one calling out, the Chazan usually finishes that word. And the tzibur can't say Amen. Says the Ramav, and after Duchening, the Kohanim should not say Ribono Olamim. So we see that everything has to be done in perfect unison, each stage only beginning after the previous stage concludes. And we go into the Dirshu, into the Mishna Berurah over here, Sivkata and Samach Gimel. Says the Mishna Berurah, Likros Kohanim ad sheyichla. We can't call out to the Kohanim until the tzibur finishes saying the Amen. Zeu lefi deya hamuvaris al b'siv yud. This is going according to the opinion in Siv Yud, that in the places that you dochen, ein oimrim, v'chulu. Why? Because if you said that, then you would say that first. Ella, rather, we're going to the opinions. This, of course, as we mentioned, is the way that they do in Yerushalayim, Nusach Ashkenaz for sure. Ella, take achar siyam birchas maidim. After the bracha maidim finishes, Kairei hashiach sibur kohanim. The Shatz yells out kohanim, and this is that part we said is not also is a point that's debated. Some have the Shatz do it, but some have someone from the tzibur say kohanim. Avlafi minagenu. Our minag says Mishna Berurah, Shetaman hashiach sibur aimer alkeinu v'alkeinu v'seinu, which we mentioned is going to be the way that we do it here in Chutz La'aretz, the way that Nusach Svar does in Eretz Yisrael, Kamosh Kozvar HaMasham in Sif Yud, Lo Yishayach Kal Din Zeh, this din does not apply. Because we have all the time while the Chazan is saying Alkeinu V'Alkeinu to finish up. Therefore, we don't have to be careful about this stage. Mepi HaTzibur, the Tzibur finishes Amen Sivkat and Samach Dalet. Hainu Roi VaTzibur. Now this line, Roi VaTzibur, which the Mishna Berurah is quoting from the Eilas Tamid, the Magen Avraham, not like the Taz, is an important line. As we're going to see, what do we do if there's that one guy that has that very long Amen? We have to wait for him. So we're already starting to see that it's a din in the majority of the Tzibur. Sivkat and Samachei, Mipi Kol HaTzibur, and this is going that the Kohanim do not begin Yivarecha until the tzibur finishes saying the Amen. What's the reason? Explains the Mishna Berurah. There's an obligation on the people to hear the bracha for the Kohanim. And therefore, Diktik HaMachaber Bekan, the Machaber was precise because of Kol HaTzibur. L'hayr is to teach. And as we pointed out, a moment ago, we said it's enough with the Rav. Here, the Mishnah Berurah is saying, no, you need everyone. Even if there are some people, Shatayin, they made a mistake. And they're not supposed to. But they're saying the Amen a little bit too long. Still, when it comes to beginning that first Yivarechecha, Sarach Lahantin Gam Aleim, Fishachiyavu, Al Kulam Lishmaya. So interesting. When it came to the bracha of the Kohanim beginning their bracha and waiting for the tzibur to say the Amen after the bracha of Maidim, that was a din in Rav. Here we're saying it's everyone. Continues the Mishnah Berurah. This is all according to the Mechaber Shabbos Dina Chazan Makar Teva Yivarechecha. This is all going according to the opinion that the Chazan doesn't call Yivarecha. V'alkein, and therefore, Sarich Lahazar Kohanim, the Kohanim have to be careful about Chalasam Yivarecha. Oh, very important. This whole din that we're diving right into the Yivarechecha after the Amen, everyone should have been wondering, wait, there's a missing stage. Because the Chazan yells out Yivarecha first, then the Kohanim answer Yivarecha. So says the Mishnah Berurah, we didn't say that. We said that the Kohanim are diving straight into the Yivarecha. That's only according to the Mechaber and Sifyud Gimel, that first Yivarecha is not prompted by the Shliach Tzibur. Aval done, but what do we? Osha Chazan Makar Gam Tevas Yivarecha, that the Chazan calls out that as well. Yeshazar ala Chazan. So now this is something precise that the Chazan has to be careful about. So even all Yisraelim have to be listening, because you could be the Chazan. Shelo yaschal akras hatevel shevarecha. You don't begin saying Yivarecha kaidem before shesimu al kalpanim roiv atzibur amen. So here the Mishnah Berurah says it in roiv. V'achshesim achazan es hatevel as mutar makanim laaschel yivarecha. So very interesting that according to that first opinion, it's going to be a din in everyone. According to what we're going to do, that the Shatz is going to be the one to start, then it's going to be a din in Rav. And I guess seemingly the chilik would be, because the nikuda, the precise point that we need, is that the tzibur should hear the Birchas Kohanim, which means they have to hear the bracha of the Kohen. What's the bracha of the Kohen? Yivarecha. The Chazan yelling out Yivarecha is just prompting, Amar Lahem, is prompting the Kohen to respond Yivarecha. So that seemingly is not as important, and once Rav the Tzibur finished, it's enough for the Chazan. I'm Sivkat Samach Vav. Amen she'oinin achar berchus kahanim. V'uadin she'in rasha akari la'aschel yo'er yisa achich la'amen pi'atzibar. He cannot begin each and every word until Amen is finished. Achich la'ateva v'chulu sivkat tzamach zayin kidei she'ishmu atzibar ateva yafa. Tzibur has to be able to hear the word properly. V'pi'at kohanim. Lo tisari b'am she'biyasa me'amakra, and they shouldn't get confused hearing the makra call out. Me'pi'at makra sivkat tzamach chas. V'nira. V'uadin she'amakra lo yaschel akris teva acheres. The makra should not begin calling out the next word. As we said, everything has to be in a symphony. The Achrayim are not happy with this Ramah. This is the final Ramah that the Ramah said that the Kohanim do not begin Ribono Ha'olamim until the Tzibur finishes Amen. Say the Achrayim, quoting the Mishnah Berurah Sivkat and Ayin, they are not happy. As we saw yesterday, that the Kohanim don't begin Ribono Olam anyways until they turn around. And until when? Until the Shliach Tzibur begins Sim Shalom for Alel Sif Tezvav. So the Achrayim take issue with the fact that the Ramah points out that the Kohanim have to wait before saying Ribono Olamim for the Tzibur to say Amen, because it's never relevant. Why is it never relevant? Because the Kohanim have to turn around. When do the Tanaim turn around? When the Shliach Tzibur starts Sim Shalom. And when does the Shliach Tzibur start Sim Shalom? When the people finish Amen. So the fact that the Ramah said that the Gehanim have to be cognizant not to serve B'nai Lamim is pointless. Because they're anyways not going to serve B'nai Lamim until they turn around, which is only going to be after the Shliach Tzibur starts, which is only going to be after the Amen is finished by the people. And with that we continue into Sif Yud Tes. Says the Mechaber, Ein Shliach Tzibur, Rashi Lana Yizamin Acha Bracha Shel Kohanim. The shots should not answer Amen after the bracha of the Kohanim. Says the Mishnah Berurah Katan Ayin Aleph, Acha Bracha Shel Kohanim. Why? Shema Tispal Daitai. Maybe the Chazan's going to get mixed up. Liyadal Akar Zacha Pasuk Sheni or Shlishi, and he's going to get mixed up where he's up to. He's up to Yivracha, Yisa. Which word is he up to? Because of that, you should not answer Amen after each of the brachas of the Kohanim. But says the Mishnah Berurah, very relevant for all of us. He's for sure. His fingers on the place. Then Rashi Lanais Amen. To Amen Zeh. Why? To Tzarech HaTfilah. Now, which Amen? This is the Amen after Yivrach Hashem Yishracha. Amen. As Mishnah Berurah continues and points out, what about the Amen of the original bracha of the Kohanim? There are those who are stringent that in all cases the Chazan, should not answer Amen. Misham hefsek betfilah v'shayni Amen shal berachas Kohanim gufa. To lo have a hefsek, the Amen within each of the brachas is not a hefsek. Shumayre al kabbalahis ha-bracha, because that's talking about accepting the bracha. So let's dive straight into the Dirshus over here, and let's learn a little bit deeper the contemporary Paiskim. Says the Dirshu, number 79. What is the story with Baruch Hu Baruch Shemai? That it doesn't mention that the shots should wait after mentioning the Shem Hashem for the Kal to say Baruch Hu Baruch Shemai. Yivarach Hashem, Baruch Hu Baruch Shemai, V'yishmerecha. So why doesn't the Mishnah Berurah say that the Chazan, before saying, let's say V'yishmerecha, wait for the Tzibur to say Baruch Hu Baruch Shemai? Says the Dirshu, what is the Pashtos? The Mishnah Berurah holds, you don't say Baruch Hu Baruch Shemai. And the Buchacha says the same thing, as well as Ramesha Feinstein, the Stipler as well. However, there is a Pri Chadash and a Ben Ish Chai and the Kaf HaChaim, which of course can be what the Sfardim are going to do. The Yes say Baruch Hu Baruch Shemai, and that's going to be where the diverging minhagim will come from. Hainu, B'chol Bracha, Bracha says Dirshu note number 80. The Amen that the Sibur says on Berachas Kohanim says Rav Moshe according to the Sefer Charedim, which is brought in the Bir Halacha to the Akdama to the Simin. This is a din de'araisa to come and to hear the bracha from the Kohanim. We see the severity of Berachas Kohanim, that the Amen that we, the people of the Tzibur, are saying, learns Rav Moshe based on the Sefer Charedim. It's a din de'araisa, and there's a chiyuv to answer Amen on the bracha of the Kohanim. And this is not like a regular Amen of all other mitzvahs, but rather it's a part of the mitzvah d'oraisa itself. And Rav Moshe adds on that this is all in the Amen on the bracha of the Kohanim, but not on the Amen of Asher Kishanim K'tishas Shalaroin, which is Amen of all the mitzvahs. And really here we're seeing these two different brachas. So if you think about it, there's really four Amens. There's four brachas of the Kohanim. There's Asher Kishanim K'tishas Shalaroin, the original bracha, which is the bracha on doing the mitzvah of benching, of blessing Klal Yisrael. Then there's the Amen on Yivrach Hashem Yishracha Yisa V'chulu, and that's three more Amens. So says Rav Moshe Feinstein, the Amen on each and every of the verses Yivrach Yisa etc. That Amen is a din d'oraisa, as there's a biblical mitzvah Torah chiyuv to listen to the Kohanim bless us. But the bracha on the Asher Kiddushanu, that's a regular berachas mitzvahs, and the difference is because one is Meira on the Kabbalah of the mitzvah, etc. And now we're going to begin Sif Chaf. We will just point out, just on that last Mishnah Berurah, Sif Katan Ayin Aleph, which Mishnah Berurah differentiated that the Chazan could answer Amen after each of the segments, but does not answer Amen after the first bracha. We will point out that there are opinions that hold that the Chazin could even answer Amen after that first bracha. And there are also opinions that hold that the Chazin never answers Amen. We actually could really point out over here, there's two large Shartzi, and Sivkat Zamach Beis, Sivkat Zamach Aleph, and there are different minhagim. In Eretz Yisrael, we'll say many have the minhag not to say that the Chazan doesn't say any of the mains, but there are those that do. And we will begin with Siv Chav. We're not going to finish Siv Chav today, but let's just begin it. Im Ashliach Siber Kain, what if the Shatz is a Kain? Im Yisham Kahanim Yechayim, if the other Kahanim, Lo Yisas Kabov, he should not dochen. Says the Ramav, we should not tell him to go duchen or wash his hands. But if they said to him, like we saw in the beginning of this hymn, that once a kohen is told to go duchen, he has to. Then sarach lalos to over ba'aseim in oilix doesn't go. He's over in the iser da'araisa. Va'afilu continues the machaber, and even if Einsham Koyin Elahu lo yisas kapav yishanat dochlin elam kein moftach loy sheyachzol tfilasay b'loyteir of daslas, he knows he's not going to get mixed up. Shemu moftach b'kach, if he's sure kivin she'Einsham Koyin Elahu, then yisas kapav teishe yisvatel siyas kapayim. Now, how does he do that is going to be for tomorrow's shir, but for today we're going to conclude. I know it's a little bit of a lengthier shir. We're going to conclude with Mishnah Berurah Sivkot and Ayin Beis. Says the Mishnah Berurah, Lo Yisa Sham Lo Yuchla Chavein Lachza L'Sim Shalom. You might not be able to get back into the regular Chazar shots of Sim Shalom. She'daitim B'turav as Memes Asiber. V'afilim B'tuach Hu Ba'atzmo Shel Tadarav Daitim. Let's say he knows he will not get mixed up. Gam Kein Lo Ratach Chacham L'Hakol B'zeh. Still, he should not be Mekel L'Hakol and become L'Alos L'Dochen. Hey Cheshesh Kanim Achim, when there are other Kahanim, like Knesset Lo Tisbalt and Asiyas Kapayim, and it's not going to anyways be Mavalt and Asiyas Kapayim, so he should not go up and Dochen as Kap of Sivkot and Ayin Gimel. Elahu Oy made of Achar Sheina Kain Makre, Koshkos of Siv Chav Beis. And he should not be the Makre, but rather someone else from the crowd, which we'll get to tomorrow, Mirza Hashem. Aval Imamur Sivkot and Ayin Dalal, if they told him to the Dochen, Umari Kishamr Lo Berchas, Ritzei, Oy Kodim L'chein, by Ritzei, or before, Aval Imamur Lo Achar Siyam Berchas Ritzei, as we've seen, then it's too late in Rashi Lals, Koshkos of Sivches. Vayin love Sivkot and test. That's the Rabbi Shem Maramint Bazeh. To over Basei, if they tell him to duchen, then he has to, or else he's being over and I say him. They say Sidu Achreinim. Because of this, say the Achreinim. The Afilu Meina Mufta Las Lo Tfilas Agam Kinyal Duchen. He should go up to duchen. Meptimnei Chashash Tirav Ubilbo Tfilah Shekol Ikura Enel Medivrei Seifim. The concern he might get mixed up. That's a din derabanan. Ein Lo Lavar. Let's say the Raisi, he shouldn't be over on that. Say the Raisi of not duchening. But Brad Ashtem Salam to Chasider. And that's seemingly where our minigs and it come from, that we often, the Kayin does dochim, but we will finally conclude with the Dirshu over here, in which they quote that the minig of the stipler was not to dochin. I can't find it right now, so we're going to have to leave it. Maybe we will point out that Dirshu, if we can, tomorrow. And we'll pick it up from here, B'siyata Dishmayu.